Welcome back, you guys, to another Madden 23 Bucs Franchise episode. And if you have not subscribed already and are following the series, please make sure to do that. It helps me out a ton. But we are in Week 10 now. We just came off the bye in Week 9. And Week 8, we also played the Falcons. So I haven't seen this happen very often, but we were playing the Falcons in back-to-back games. They did have a game while we were on our bye, so they were 3-6 now, while we are 2-6. So we now have the worst record in the division. But before we get into the game, we have a couple of things to go over. First and foremost is we have a breakout wide receiver scenario. I assume this is for Chris Godwin. I would be surprised if it was for Jalen Hyatt. Okay, of course. I mean, like, it's just not even showing me who it is. Okay, it's for Chris Godwin. So get him 4 touchdowns or 200-plus receiving yards. And is that possible against this Atlanta defense? I think it is for sure. I think that, one of the teams that we would have the best chance of doing that against is this Atlanta defense versus like playing the Eagles or playing the Niners. But Chris Godwin also does get an upgrade for this game. We're going to upgrade him to a 90 overall slot receiver. And that boosts his awareness, break tackle, spin move, speed, carrying, catching traffic, change of direction, and route running. Looking at him overall, still only 27 years old. Everything is just like off the charts. The only thing that's not crazy high is his deep route running. But also, to be fair, that's getting a downgrade by 2 right now. But yeah, it would be crazy if we could get him Superstar X Factor and have 2 receivers with Superstar X Factor. Antoine Winfield gets an upgrade, boosting his zone coverage up a little bit more. And, zone is something that I don't usually upgrade a lot on my safeties. He gets a boost to excel and speed and agility. Actually, that was a crazy upgrade. And zone. So he's up to 90 speed now and 89 zone coverage. Like, I don't see that very often on most of the safeties I usually have on my team. But Joe Tryon gets an upgrade. We're going to upgrade his speed rushing. More of just a pure pass rusher on the team. Not much of a cover player. Gets a boost to his zone in that upgrade as well, though. And anyone else you really care about upgrading? We're going to upgrade Diabate for sure. We're going to upgrade his pass coverage. Surprising that his pass coverage is his leading ability when I feel like his run stuffing is what's best about him. But he got a speed upgrade, and he already had 87 speed, so he's up to 88 now. At 6'4", that's pretty damn good. Anthony Nelson gets an upgrade, and Anthony Nelson is another kind of pass rusher in the mold of Joe Tryon. He's 6'7", 26 years old. We're going to boost his power rushing to get him up to a 70 overall. So just some more depth at the outside linebacker / edge positions is nice to see. And then lastly, the last one that we really care about is Leo Chenal. We're going to upgrade his run stopping just to get him up to a 70 overall. And that upgrades his pursuit tackle and zone coverage. And he's still looking pretty fantastic as well. 89 hit power and nearly 90 speed. And the rest of these players we're just going to auto upgrade. All right, last game was at home. This game is in Atlanta. Falcons are coming off of a game where they just had 3 passing touchdowns from Jacoby Brissett and 0 interceptions. They're in their alternate unis, the red and black kind of gradient sort of look. I kind of like them. All right. But we're going to go ahead and get straight into the game. Again, this is, it feels redundant almost that we're playing them back-to-back games. I mean, it's almost like the NFL doesn't care about the NFC South. I mean, and why would they? This is like the least interesting division, I feel like, aside from maybe the AFC South. Jalen Hyatt on the return up to the 25-yard line. And, it's not because of the franchises themselves or like the location. It's just, not a whole lot of competitiveness. A lot of the teams in the NFC South don't have their franchise quarterback. And so, like in this upcoming draft, we might see a change, a shift, but in this current Madden, that is not the case. Underneath, can we get it to Cade Otton? And he holds on to it for a nice grab. A contested catch from Cade Otton is kind of surprising to see. I don't view him as much of an elite pass catcher, although when he was at UW, he was definitely really good. Mike Evans got the one-on-one. And again, one thing we got to be acutely aware of is the fact that we got to get Godwin 200 receiving yards. It can be really easy to just want to pass the ball to Mike Evans like every play. It really can be, but Chris Godwin doesn't make it too hard to get to him either. He's an elite slot receiver. He's got some speed, and he catches it right here and breaks off a big gain. Helps out immediately. And it feels like the passing game has gotten so much better in the last couple of weeks. Baker Mayfield's been much more accurate. We've had more time in the pocket, seemingly. Leonard Fournette on the carry. Good block from Mike Evans. Oh, my God, what a fumble. I can't believe it, man. We were driving down the field so well. I was just talking about how the offense was so successful. We try to run the football one time, and what happens? We fumble it, man. This is why we throw so much. This is why we throw. All right, well, we're going to see Jacoby Brissett and the offense for the Falcons onto the field a lot earlier than we were expecting. As, you know, the main weapons of this offense are Cordarrelle Patterson, that we kind of shut down a decent bit, more than most running backs we play against, and then Kyle Pitts, and they also have Drake London at wide receiver, of course. 1st and 10, play action, we're all over it. Deep middle of the field, throw it underneath the Cordarrelle, and Cordarrelle just decks Jaquan Brisker, which really should never happen. Got Eli Ricks dropping back into coverage, who has played super well for us so far, since starting and picking up for Bryce Callahan after we traded him away. Playing cover 1 on this possession. We got some man beaters here. We're watching them. Throwing it out of bounds is Jacoby Brissett. And still near the 50-yard line. They're not in field goal range, so they're going to have to pick up some yards to at least get a field goal off in this possession. We're going to drop into cover 3. They're in the gun, and we got to just look primarily for Kyle Pitts. We see him there. See Drake London, and Jacoby Brissett just tosses it out of bounds again. Don't really get that. He's 1 for 4 now. And they're going to punt the football. Defense did a good job holding up after that initial turnover off the fumble. And, you know, now I question, you know, do we bring Leonard Fournette back in or what? Like, I just don't know how Leonard Fournette, who has the highest carrying in the game, is fumbling the ball like that. You know, like, you know, Rachaad White fumbles, maybe I get it. You know, his carrying is like I think it's like a 90, like an 88 or something. But Leonard Fournette has like 98 carrying. It's just crazy to me. Godwin on the zig, gets open, picks up the first, and falls down at the 31-yard line. Fournette gets injured in the play, so I guess we don't have much of an option either way to start or bench him because he decided to take himself out with that injury. So now Rachaad White is definitively in. And we're going to give him an opportunity to run the football and see what he can do. Again, with our record being 2-6, I feel like giving the young guys an opportunity is definitely a good idea. Trying to build their overall up, trying to get them ready for next year. Because we're not in the running to make the playoffs right now. We're bottom of the division. And see if Mike Evans gets open, and he does underneath. Can he pick up the first? Yes, he does. And, you know, I've contemplated, you know, do we put we're gonna keep Rachaad White in on this play. Do we put Zach Wilson in at quarterback? You know, Baker's actually played pretty well for us. Baker has star dev. He's a lot older than Zach, but Zach also has star dev. But, you know, Rachaad White, can you break the tackle? No. Taking it for a gain of just 3 yards on the play. Yeah, it might make sense to start Zach Wilson again. I just don't like the guy in real life. Chris Godwin on the catch, on the drag, and picks up the first. But that's my only hesitancy is, like, you know, as a pure prospect, he's not bad. He's got the star dev. He's pretty young. He's almost a 70 overall. He's basically the same as Baker Mayfield. But just, like, the thought of starting Zach Wilson, I just don't know if I like it. Leonard Fournette gets a carry again and picks up 1 yard on the play. We're going to try a different formation and see if we can get Godwin another catch. And it's not really there. Baker Mayfield steps up in the pocket. Rare scramble from Baker. Makes it almost a first down. Just slid a little bit early. And what do we do here? Do we run Rachaad White? Give him a chance. They got a lot of people in the box. Mike Evans could be open on a slant potentially, but we're going to give Rachaad White a chance. See if the blocking holds up, and it does. Rachaad White picks up the first, but there is a flag on the play. It could be... no, I guess it can't be. It is just holding on the offense. So it's going to be 3rd and 10. Instead of us getting that first down pickup, we're back at the 46. Making a crucial mistake is Will Hernandez. And those are the sort of things that keep us from scoring on these drives. And we're going to go into play action. Well, we probably should get out of this. We're going to go into a different formation. And let's go into empty. They know we're passing anyways. Got Rachaad White in, who's a little bit better of a route runner. And we'll see underneath if Irv Smith can get open. We don't have enough time to throw the ball. Don't even have enough time to throw it on a man beater as a drag. And they get pressure immediately, and we're going to have to punt it. And ultimately that penalty killed us by Will Hernandez. I mean, that just killed the whole drive. And they're going to try to fair catch it, but really just goes out the back of the end zone down at the 20-yard line. And Jacoby coming back out on the field after starting 1 for 4 on the first drive, not really even making an attempt to throw the football inbounds, mostly just throwing it away. Playing cover 2 on the first possession, Cordarrelle on the carry, and Cordarrelle, again, is the running back that we've had the most success against, stopping him in the running game. Of course, as soon as I say that, they're going to just go off, and Cordarrelle's going to just get like an 80-yard breakaway TD or something. And, oh my God. Please stop him. Somebody. We are just not great at filling the gaps sometimes. You know, I talk about how Devin White is a fantastic run stopper. I talk about how Diabate is and Jaquan Brisker is. And then sometimes, and even Eli Ricks is, but then sometimes it's just like, and we have good D linemen too for this. Oh, good tackle by Carlton Davis. Kind of a weird angle on that play, but he takes down Drake London after he picks up the first down on the curl. Now they're coming out in gun once again. But I am very curious to see, again, I was talking about the quarterbacks that are in the NFC South, and I'm very curious to see not necessarily who gets drafted in the NFC South in this upcoming draft, but in our Madden League draft, I'm curious to see who is going where. And we got coverage on Eli Ricks, with Eli Ricks, and Jacoby throws it short for a 4-yard pickup. They're in the gun once again, and you know, I'm curious to see, you know, like, do we end up getting, short completion. This time, Antoine Winfield with the big hit. Traquan with a catch. But do we get Taylor George? Can we get him? He's projected to be the #1 pick, but there's other QBs that I haven't really talked about, but there's other QBs in the draft that are very good as well. Bob Berry is one of them. Oh, and the slant is open. Drake London for the touchdown. Bad coverage. Even if we're in cover 2, I just can't, or we were in cover 3, but I just can't believe we just couldn't get anybody on Drake London, one of their, you know, top options at receiver. Yeah, like I said, Bob Berry is a 6'3 QB in the draft that is projected to go in the first round that has a lot of speed and good. The only thing that's holding him back is he's got like good throw power, not a great or elite. Whereas Taylor George has elite throw power and he's more of an inside the pocket QB, and get returned by Hyatt, taken up to the 31. And then there is another quarterback. Oh, Winfield is out with a dislocated shoulder. That's going to be a multiple week injury, and Yusuf Corker is going to come in to fill in for him a little bit. I'm going to try a counter play out of pistol. And they're waiting for us, but Fournette cuts it up. Oh, another. No. What is happening? You know, this hasn't been an issue like all season, and all of a sudden Fournette, with the highest carrying in the league, fumbles it twice in a row against like DBs. Jaron Curse just laid him out. Well, we're not winning a game if we're fumbling like that on a carry. Anytime we get like a decent run, it's just like a fumble. Every single time that Fournette's had a big run, it's just fumbled it. I don't even know what to say about that, man. I really don't know what to say. Checking in on the defensive line. We got Diabate in, and obviously Winfield is out. I play cover 1 on the first play. But yeah, I am curious to see if other NFC South teams are going to get some good quarterbacks. You know, carry by Cordarrelle, a good tackle that time by Diabate. Making it 3rd and 6. Could get a stop here potentially. Holding to a field goal would be huge. But we have Turner in right now at safety, along with Yusuf Corker. Jaquan is in, but he's in man coverage right now underneath. One-on-one, Carlton knocks it away. Good defense. They threw it up high to Drake London, and Carlton actually played the ball pretty well in the air, getting a tip on the pass. But as I was saying, yeah, like the Panthers are actually pretty good this season, but that's because they signed Jimmy G in free agency. And we elected not to do that. We wanted a cheaper quarterback that we could eventually bench. Jimmy G also was highly motivated to be the starter for a team. And I'm not a big Jimmy G fan anyways. I don't love all of his like physical traits. I don't think he's like the greatest at throwing the football. He doesn't have great accuracy. Doesn't have the biggest arm. Oh, if Blossom Game could have got a better block, we could have taken that for the TD. And so we're going to make this change right now. We're benching Fournette for the rest of the game. Rashad White's going to be starting because we just can't handle this many turnovers. You know, I feel bad for Baker sometimes. Baker has played so well for us in several games where we have still lost. Like, he had 5 touchdowns against the Falcons. And we lost. I can't believe it. Rachaad White on the carry. Picks up 2 yards in the play as Irv Smith goes down, holding his knee, it looks like. And we just, like, again, we talked about it a bunch, but, like, can we catch a single break, man? Can we catch a single break? And not like a literal break. I don't want to catch a literal broken leg. Mike Evans over the top, and it's a high throw that's inaccurate. And Irv Smith has a dislocated knee. Nice. So it's 3rd and 8 now. And what can we scheme up that's actually going to get open? We're going to try... No, we're not going to try a post shot. I do like inside high-low a lot. Mike Evans could get open on this. Godwin could as well. Cutting it upfield. Godwin's open. Holds on to it. A big-time grab from Godwin. That's going to add to his receiving yards, which, of course, we're trying to get to 200. He's up to 80 receiving yards so far. And we really haven't even tried to funnel him the ball all that much. We've been just looking for him a little bit more. Again, we got to get him up to 200 to get that superstar X factor. Throwing it underneath. Rachaad White is open. Holds on to it. A big-time grab. Big time mostly because, and Trenton Simpson was there for the tackle. I forgot that Trenton Simpson was on the team, but mostly a big time grab because he caught it and didn't fumble when he got hit. And try a counter on this play. And it's there. We cut it back inside. They got to the outside. We couldn't hold that block long enough. And I think instead, looks like it's zone. See if Godwin gets open. Hoping it's zone. And Rachaad White's open underneath. And we threw it a little bit late. Didn't allow him to run after the catch. Making it 4th and 1. I think we're going to go for this. We don't have to. We're going to see if we like our matchup right now. Let's see. We're going to bring Hyatt over to the left. And we're going to send him on a go. So it's man coverage. It looks like it might be man coverage. We're going to see if anything's open here. And Hyatt over the top. Oh, he gets a tip on it. We just needed to put a little more air under the ball, I think. Just loft it over the top. And that might have been a TD. We just didn't have a lot of time to make that decision. We got pressured immediately. Good defense by A.J. Terrell. Let's see at this play again. So we stepped back a little bit too much. And the problem is when we did that, they came through on the blitz. And we couldn't step up into the pocket. Or we really should have stepped up into the pocket. Instead, we just backed up and eventually made that throw under pressure. But it was an accurate throw nonetheless. I think the thing is we just needed to high point it a little bit more. Put a little air under it so that it went past A.J. Terrell. Because Hyatt beat his man. And honestly, Chris Godwin had beat his man too. If we had picked Godwin instead, Godwin beat his man by quite a bit. And Godwin was probably open for that touchdown. But you live and you learn. We're coming out in base 3-4. They're spread out wide though. I don't love this mismatch. We got Chanel on Kyle Pitts, who catches it. Pitts with the grab for the first. And let's get immediately out of this formation if they're going to be running empty like that. Falcons love to run a lot of empty sets against us. They did that in our Lions franchise as well. And really, sometimes we have to just go straight up into dime to match this. But we're going to be in big nickel for this play. We're going to cover one. Got to help on Kyle Pitts for sure. Oh, the zig gets wide open by Traquan. Good tackle there by Jamel Dean. Taking him down, but they are already in field goal range. So they are making us pay for going for it and not getting it. This time we're coming out in dime. We're going to bring Eli Ricks off the edge. We're going to keep Cam Taylor-Britt in coverage. Oh, and it's 2-minute warning. We're going to run the same play. Again, if you were not watching that episode, we traded for Cam Taylor-Britt. And so far, he's our 4th corner. Eli Ricks is still the nickel corner. So he doesn't get a whole lot of PT, but in dime he does. And a good forcing completion by Carlton Davis. Getting his hand in there. On 2nd and 10, again, they're showing the same sort of looks. We're going to continue to stay in dime. I think it's a better matchup for us. And Jacoby in empty again. Drake London. And we get the interception with Carlton Davis. Baiting Jacoby Brissett into the interception. And the only dude that I'm worried about catching me is Kyle Pitts, but Carlton Davis taking it all the way for the pick six. A huge play, making it a 3-point game. And the defense stepping up, making a huge play for us. Kind of wish we took that field goal now to actually have it tied. But there is still 1:40 left in the first half. But yeah, we just sat on the curl for a while. And we just let Drake London kind of stay there wide open. Eventually, just getting the bait off with Carlton Davis. And that's basically the only time that you can guard a curl like that really well and get the pick is when you just kind of bait them a little bit with your user. I mean, sometimes the AI just is really bad about covering those curl routes, and you have to go into your defensive adjustments and kind of change that and run different coverages. But you can stop it. It's just kind of annoying. Well, so far, this formation has been really successful. Already getting that pick 6, and Jacoby was having a fantastic game before that. Eli Ricks on the tackle for Kyle Pitts. But yeah, Jacoby at the time was like 8 for 10, and he had this 1 touchdown and no interceptions, but now it's a little bit different. Drake London getting open on the curl underneath. Cordarrelle with a grab. A good tackle by Eli Ricks. Doing a little cut stick, getting there, taking his legs out. And that's probably the best thing for our corners to do on the field is just to go for a cut stick tackle instead of trying to go for a big hit most of the time. And the Falcons decide to finally use a timeout with a minute remaining. But we'll see what they do. Oh, the double move over the middle is kind of open. Don't tell me he actually got it off. Oh, we had 3 guys there. We could have had one of them drop back to try to get the interception. But a good job anyways, just stopping that double move. I was kind of worried about it. We didn't really have safety help over the top on that play. Devin White in coverage over the middle. A good job trying to get to Kyle Pitts. And we do get the tackle, making it 3rd and 3. But I just wish we could have forced the incompletion instead, getting a hand in there. But on 3rd and 3, again, with a lot of receivers on the field, could run it. And this is a cover 3 beater, kind of. We're dropping back with Eli Ricks. Almost had the chance to pick it off. A bad throw from Jacoby again. And with 40 seconds left, we have all of our timeouts. I mean, we could make something happen out of this. And we'll see what happens, though. And they just kick it out of bounds. All right, we're giving the backup Rachaad White some more opportunities to run the football. We're going to run it to the left. They're showing a lot of pressure over to the right. See what happens. Bring it back inside. Rachaad White getting it for only 1 yard. And, you know, like I talked about before the beginning of the season, wanted to see Rachaad White get some opportunities. But when we run him, sometimes he is phenomenal. Sometimes he is incredibly average. On the catch is Godwin, finally getting open on the drag. We're going to call a timeout on 3rd and 4 with 16 seconds left. The only reason I'm doing that is because we're trying to get 200 receiving yards with Godwin. See if we can get him one more catch before half. And let's see. We're going to block Cade Otton because it looks like they're showing pressure. Can we block him? I guess we can't block him. I thought he was in line. Anyways, it doesn't matter. We're going to send him on a go. And Godwin got the route, basically ran for him. Instead, we're going to punt it, and we're just going to go into halftime because they're not going to score. Well, with 10 seconds left, I was expecting it to be 7-10 after the punt, but I simmed to go to half with 1 play left because I was like, yeah, well, nothing's happening here, and we got a safety. So thank you to Cordarrelle for running backwards from like the 1 yard line. And we'll take it. We are down by only 1 point now. Again, it would be great to beat the Falcons, but also I don't know how to feel about it because we're also competing for a top pick. On the short out, Kyle Pitts on the grab, and finally making the tackle is Turner, I believe, our backup safety, who, again, does not get a lot of PT for us, but we are thin at safety right now with Winfield being out and being in some of these bigger sets with multiple safeties. Devin White trying to get over there on Tyler Algier, but he does pick up the first down to the 39. And yeah, we're directly competing with this Falcons roster. I mean, they're 3-6. We're 2-6. If we were to win this, we would have the exact same record. Can we get there in time? Oh, Carlton couldn't get there to get the stop. And James is there for the grab. And Joe Tryon is holding his shoulder. Another injury for this defense would be a killer. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the injury bug. If our trainers aren't stretching our players out or what it is. Cordarrelle on the carry. Weaves his way back left, but only picks up 2 yards. And Joe Tryon is not seriously injured, but we're going to bench him anyways and put Sealer in for now. Sealer's already in. He just would be subbed to edge. Oh, God. Devin White's subbed to edge right now. All right, well, that's great. So we got Leo Chenal playing middle linebacker, and Devin White is playing edge. So we're going to fix that for the time being. And, yeah, like I was saying, you know, we're trying to see if we can get a quarterback in this draft. Good tackle there, but they do pick up the first. Trying to see if we can get a quarterback in this draft, but the Falcons are also in the running for a quarterback. the thing is, like, there's not another top 5 QB in this draft class besides Taylor George, but we also don't know for sure yet if we're going to use our top pick on Taylor George or not. Because, like I said, there's a lot of value later in the draft at QB in terms of, like, more athletic quarterbacks than Taylor George. Taylor George, again, he has a very good throwing motion, it sounds like, and, throwing it underneath to Drake London. Drake London gets hit hard. Going down, still picking up 8 yards on the play. We got to get a little bit more focused. We're going to bring a man blitz on this play because they're all up on the line. They're in a jumbo set. And there's a flag on the play. Looks like it might be a false start. And we would get lucky if that's the case, and it is. Okay, so we got caught with our pants down a little bit. We got to get into a bigger coverage. We're going to actually go into 4-6 for a play. We have a lot of linebackers on this roster that can play a little bit of coverage, and a lot of edge rushers as well. So we're going to see if we can get a run stop here. Cordarrelle taking it up the middle, and Chenal gets carried for a gain of a couple. But he does hold him to the 3rd down now, 3rd and 1. One thing I'm worried about is, oh crap, I'm worried about a slant route, and it's underneath. We get the tackle on Traquan Smith with Jaquan Brisker, but it does result in a 1st down pickup anyways. But, like, yeah, there's a lot of depth at the QB class later in the 1st, so we'll see if we decide to take Taylor George or not. If we don't take him, and they score the TD. If we don't take him, I would assume that an NFC South team might be able to get him, because the Falcons, again, are in the exact same spot as us basically right now, a slightly better record. But after that score, it is a 8-point game. And still a 1-possession game, though. We can make it a game again. On the kick return is going to be Jalen Hyatt, who has already been explosive for us multiple times this season in the return game. And taking it out from the 3-yard line. Get some good blocks. Not great blocks, actually. Rashad White trying his best. The Falcons' pass rush has not been that crazy, but the long passes have not really been there. Rashad White on the carry. Didn't have the speed to get outside of Chris Godwin, so we decided to cut it up and instead got 0 yards on the carry. Again, I thought we could... The only chance we had to gain yards there, I think, is if we actually cut it upfield like we did. And, again, missing Irv Smith has also been a pain. Irv Smith is pretty important for our passing game. I think he's the 3rd leading receiver on the team. Cade Otton on the post. Holds onto it, a big-time grab. Oh, my God, we cannot have another fumble, though. I was worried about it a little bit, being between multiple defenders in the secondary and getting... And, yep, they just punched it loose. They punched it loose, and so they got it back at the 42, and... again, no fault of Baker. You know, Baker, again, was a big issue. Another nice jet sweep carry from Traquan Smith, picking up 13 yards in the 1st. But Baker was a big issue early in the season, and so far, you know, he's become more of a game manager, not as much of an issue, you know, deliberately turning over the football. Play action, we're all over Cordarrelle. Turner is there to make the tackle, a nice tackle on the play. Still 8 yards on the pickup. They're consistently getting chunk yards and just kind of marching down the field into our red zone, and that's when we start to kind of lock down a little bit in place of actual defense, which is a little bit concerning. We have like a bend, don't break defense, but we don't have the greatest defense. Tyler Algier on the carry. Nice tackle from Yusuf Corker. Tyler Algier up to 3 carries for 17 yards. Another concern, because I know Tyler Algier, for a fact, is incredibly slow. I think he has like 86 speed at running back. Watching the short out. Watching underneath. And we can't force the incompletion again. Corker was there, but I don't know why he's flexing. But Drake London still caught it. It was only for a gain of 1, but... Or I think it was for a gain of 1. We're going to drop into cover 2. We're going to play underneath coverage. Got Carlton Davis on Drake London's side. We go... Oh... Cordarrelle breaks the tackle, and he steps out of the 1. We got very lucky because he bulldozed his way into the end zone. And now, from the 1-yard line, in I form, I expect to run up the middle. We're playing for it. Oh, my God. It's play action. Can we get our hands on him? No, it's another TD. This time from Brevin Jordan, the backup tight end, who is not all that good. Not going to lie. I don't think he's the greatest tight end. And, I mean, who was it that was all over him? It was Carlton Davis that was all over him, and he just didn't stick his hand out. You know, why are we down? I mean, if you look at it, we have 3 fumbles. 2 fumbles from Fournette that we lost, and then a 3rd fumble just from Cade Otton that was lost. And so it's things that we can't necessarily control that have been hurting us. We're trying our best on offense to put something together, but when those plays happen, I mean, it just kills all of our momentum. The Falcons have complete control over this game right now at home. On the counter by Rachaad White, he gets tackled from behind for a gain of 2 only. So now he's up to 7 carries for only 9 yards. And, I don't know what to say about his performance. I mean, he can be a fantastic receiving back as well. We're going to try and see if we can get him on the angle. Instead, we're going to throw it out to Jalen Hyatt, who beats his man one-on-one. AJ Terrell gets the shoelace tackle at the last second to not give up the TD, but Hyatt doing a great job burning Terrell one-on-one on the outside, which is something we haven't seen the rookie do very often, getting that outside one-on-one sort of look against a great corner, too, in AJ Terrell. But he comes up with a huge play and a great throw by Baker, finally making the play when it was available and needed to be made downfield. And so 1st and 10, after the 62-yard pickup, Jalen Hyatt's first catch of the game. You try a read option. This could catch the defense off guard. We're going to see. And Baker Mayfield on the keeper. Good block from Hyatt on the edge, and we're going to slide down. We could have tried to force our way in, but really, after the 3rd fumble, are we going to risk a 4th? Because, come on, man. We're going to get another fumble if we went for that. But anyways, we're going to switch into a halfback zone. And really, they're not showing. Oh, they're kind of stacked up. We're going to switch this up. We're looking for Chris Godwin first. And Godwin is open. It was basically a pick play. Great job by Mike Evans, kind of just taking up 2 DBs on that play. And Chris Godwin was left wide open for the touchdown underneath. And a big play set up by our wide receivers. A big drive, I would say. Making it a 1-possession game again. Now down by 8 points with still, quite a bit of time left in the 4th quarter. All right, we're coming back out in dime. Because, again, it's been relatively successful against this Falcons offense. And Jacoby Brissett in gun. We're watching underneath. And we force Traquan to at least stumble a little bit before getting the tackle, making it 2nd and 5. Jacoby's still having a good game now after that really bad pick 6. Now up to 2 TDs and 1 interception. Cordell on the carry. And we get him down. Making it 3rd and 2. We're in man coverage. Don't know how to feel about that exactly. Looks like it's a run. And it is up the middle. We're there. Cordell carries Devin White and Yusuf Corker on the play and still picks up the 1st. That's just it's a buzzkill right there, man. I mean, we brought pressure up the middle. We were there. We saw it coming and still couldn't stop it. Still in cover 2 man. We're watching Kyle Pitts over the middle. Oh, no. Pitts finally gets brought down at the 45. Basically in field goal range at this point. We cannot give up a field goal. I mean, there's enough time where we realistically could. But to get really back in this game, I mean, you got to get a 2-point conversion as well. We should not be getting up more points. We got to get some pressure on this play. It's a toss up to the right side. And we're there with Jamel Dean for a 5-yard loss. That was a big play for us. Really a risky play by the Falcons. Being this close to the into field goal range, taking a 5-yard loss could eliminate their possibility of getting that field goal that we were talking about. Switching the formation once again. We're in cover 2, which is, again, a little bit more risky, especially with 3 receivers on the right. And, oh, they beat it. They beat it. Like I said, it was a little bit more risky, and, yeah, no, they picked it apart immediately. The perfect cover 2 beater right there, just having a man on the outside. Instead, we are going to bring a man blitz over the left side, and we forced the incompletion. A good job by Jamel Dean, at least stopping the clock on the play. And now I expect a lot more running, so we're going to go into base 3-4. And if they decide to continue to pass, that is to our advantage. I think we can still play good coverage in 3-4. We're on Kyle Pitts. Can we force the incompletion? Jamel Dean does. He could have really probably got the pick. Regardless, on 3rd and 10 now. We're in cover 3. And we're looking at Drake London. We're also looking at Kyle Pitts. Oh, God, I'm on Vita Vea. Please, somebody. Vita Vea is trying to get pressure. Force the incompletion. We do. A good job again. And another big play from Jamel Dean. And that forces them to the field goal. Can we get in their heads a little bit? Can we force them to miss? Young Ho Koo. I don't even know what his actual name is. I'm never going to learn it because I just always want to call him Young Ho Koo. I think it's Young Wei Koo. Anyways, he makes the field goal, which makes it an 11-point game. And now we need to score very quickly to have any chance of getting back into this football game. And I really think that if we didn't have the 3 fumbles, we'd probably end up winning this game. The blocks at the left. Jalen Hyatt breaking 1 tackle before going down at the 17-yard line. Not his best return ever. But, you know, we can't fault him too much. He is the reason why we scored on our last drive with that big 62-yard pickup, beating A.J. Terrell on the outside. But, you know, we still have to remember the other goal for this team, and that is getting Godwin above the 200 receiving yard mark, which at this point feels like a force feed. Down by this much. We'll see if we can do it. I really want to do it. It would be huge to get him Superstar X Factor. We don't know how many chances we're going to get to do that, and immensely increase his trade value. Thrown over the top. Godwin holds on to it. Big time grab. Don't want to use a timeout yet. We're going to slow things down a little bit for a second, and we're going to see if we can get a post shot off. We got Hyatt running one of the post routes. And we don't really have time to make this throw. Mike Evans is open. He holds on to it. A big time catch. He got the stiff arm off. He's got 1 man to beat down at the 3-yard line. Baker Mayfield, again, playing fantastic, dude. 16 for 20. Playing out of this world. Now, just don't jinx it right here. Okay. I've got a ton of time. Over the top to Rachaad White. I think that was Rachaad White. Had it in his hands. Was in the end zone. Just couldn't hold on to the football. Okay, we're going to see if we can get Chris Godwin on a zig. We're going to send Jalen Hyatt to the left. And we're going to have him on... We're going to have him on an out. Because I think this is zone. So we'll see. And it was zone, and I think Hyatt was actually open on that play. And I'm locked in right now. It's 3rd and goal from the 2. The run looks like it actually could be there, but we have a counter right now. Instead, Godwin is open for the grab. They sold out on the run on that play. Luckily, we decided not to run it. But yeah, they did engage it. They dropped everybody for the run. No one was in coverage. 2-point conversion, and Godwin's left wide open. Again, another grab for Godwin, making it a 3-point game. An easy 2-point conversion, and the Falcons defense, I don't know what they're doing, if they're trying to intentionally, you know, lose this game or what, but that was just terrible defense the last couple of plays. But the last couple of drives, really, if you count some of the other plays that have occurred. But a 3-point game now with 2 minutes remaining. And I'm going to check real quick and see how many yards does Godwin have. Let's see, receiving. Godwin's up to 120 and 2 TDs. He needs 80 more. That's going to be a little bit of an issue. Unless we go to OT, I think that's the only chance we got to get him there. And that would be a huge bummer not getting him to Superstar X Factor. But they're in I form from the 25-yard line. It's a run. We're there on Cordarrelle. We get 1 stop. There is an injury timeout, which is huge for us. That helps us a lot. And we're going to come out in 4-6, which, again, has been really good stopping the run. Uh-oh. This looks like it could be a pass play. We'll see. Oh, it's a run again. We're here on Cordarrelle. Oh, break that. Oh, man. There's a flag on the play. Finally taking him down. I think that was Anthony Nelson on the edge who could not break out of the block. And it's a huge, huge holding call there. Oh, my God. It stops the clock and takes it back to 2nd and 8. We're bringing everybody down to play the run. Stretch to the left again. We're there. We get him tackled. He still gets a gain. And we're not going to call a timeout here. We're going to let it go down to a minute. I expect a pass. We're going to stay in man coverage. Who do we got to help on? We got to help on the right side. Got to help on Traquan. Traquan's open on the out. Can we force the incompletion? No. All right, well, Vita Vea got injured, and that uses our timeout. So we have 2 remaining. We needed to call a timeout there anyways, but this might be over. Okay, it's a run to the left. We're there. Oh, my God. Jamel didn't get there. I mean, it's over anyways. They can just run it out at this point. Well, we had stopped Cordarrelle pretty effectively, I feel like. 15 carries for, like, 80 yards or so. I mean, it's not great, but for us, it's kind of great. But he just broke it away on the last play, and that basically iced the game. And that is going to be it. We could not get Chris Godwin to Superstar X Factor. And it's another breakout scenario that we have failed. I suck at breakout scenarios, I feel like. I just don't just force it to those players as much as I need to. And I think I'm going to have to reevaluate doing that. But we take the L, losing back-to-back games to the Falcons, getting our bye week in between. And yeah, the Falcons and us are competing for worst in the division, and we beat them. We are officially worse than the Falcons. We also failed again to get Godwin his Superstar X Factor, which is also helping us be worse in the division, I guess. But obviously, would have immensely increased his trade value, his value overall. He would have been a steal. He's already such a great route runner, but unfortunately, we did not get that opportunity, and we're going to have to wait for the next chance to get him to Superstar X Factor, which I don't know when that will be. But looking at the stats, Baker, 2 TDs, no picks, almost a perfect passer rating, and we couldn't get him the W. And we couldn't get him the W because of the fumbles. I honestly think also if we remove those fumbles, we probably get Godwin to 200 receiving yards with how he was playing and how Baker Mayfield was throwing the football today. Jacoby Brissett, 22 for 33, 2 TDs, 1 pick. Pretty okay performance. Cordarrelle with 17 carries for 122 yards. A couple of big runs in there. The running game for us was very good with Fournette. Just if you don't look at the fumbles, he fumbled on 2 out of 3 of his carries, and we lost both of them. Rachaad White didn't fumble, but also had 1 yard per carry, so that was awful. Our number one runner was actually Baker Mayfield with 2 carries for 22 yards. Receiving-wise, Godwin having a fantastic game. 10 grabs, 120 yards, 2 TDs, but unfortunately not up to that 200-yard or 4-touchdown mark. Mike Evans with 3 grabs for 70 yards. Jalen Hyatt with only 1 catch, but for 62 yards. And our next up at receiver was Cade Otton, really, and Irv Smith didn't even get the chance to get a catch before going out with injury. Michael Walker with 13 tackles. Yusuf Corker leading the team in tackles after the injury to Winfield. And we had no sacks, and we had that 1 interception by Carlton Davis that resulted in a pick 6. That was pretty huge. And we had no forced fumbles either. So overall, a pretty poor defensive game. I'm eating a Thin Mint, but after the game, Baker Mayfield getting an upgrade up to a 72. We're going to boost his strong arm because I feel like that's his best attribute is his ability to throw the deep ball. And his throw power is, I think it's pretty good. Now it's up to 93. Which, yeah, is very solid. His overall accuracy is pretty good. The one killer for him is awareness, which is also the same for Zach Wilson as well. But he was the one player that got an upgrade in this game. And I don't even want to look at this because we didn't get it for Chris Godwin. So, and we have 2 new injuries, too. So, Vita Vea is going to be out for 4 weeks. And Irv Smith is going to be out for 5 weeks. Love it. It's fantastic. But they're going to be out, yeah, basically for, almost the entire rest of the season. There's going to be probably 2 games where they're back for. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have not subscribed already, make sure to do that. I appreciate you so much for watching if you watched all the way through the video. And I will see you in Week 11 when we play against the Buffalo Bills. Peace, you guys.